Great. So, welcome everyone, and good morning and good afternoon, everyone, as well at the same time. And welcome to our exclusive webinar hosted by Chase Global Academy, hosted by myself, Vikash Rathore, in partnership with American University ELTA, English Language Training Academy and Center, basically, with Game and Ken from their team has joined us. Today, basically, we'll explore how AU ELTA helps international students improve their English skills and transition smoothly into US university programs. And we encourage you to use that chat and Q&A box throughout the session. We'll answer your questions live in the second half. Let's get started, guys.
Great. Thank you, Vikash. So do you want to start with some introductions? How do you want? I know you
Yes,
sent us some questions.
yes, please. You may give us an overview of the programs and the collaboration. Then eventually, yes, we can you can proceed with one-to-one as per the questions as highlighted.
Great. So let me begin with some quick introductions. I'm Ken Janjigian, director of ELTA, the English Language and Training Academy at American University. I've been working at American University since 2012. And I've overseen our pathway programs and the intensive English program. And I'll let Game introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Game Purse, Assistant Director at ELTA. I have been with the program for 6 years and my role here is very student facing. I work with some of them for admission application process and also when they're here, I usually am the point of contact when they need help. Nice to meet you.
Perfect. So
Great.
I myself have joined with my team, Priya, Puneet, and Nisha from our team as well. So yeah, so cut short, we can just start with the formal opportunities related to AU ELTA.
Great. So I wanted to talk about our Graduate Gateway program first, Vikash. And actually, we have a nice little PowerPoint if we are able to share that.
Absolutely, please. That'll be great.
I know, Gabe, do you have access to share, or maybe she can be
Yeah,
co-host? Oh, you do.
I
Okay.
think I do. Yes. Give me a second.
And Vikash, is this just to be clear, is this going out to students or is just internal to your?
No, so eventually our aim is to highlight in our social media so that whosoever is looking forward for more information and knowledge, so before making a final decision, they can get an overview about the program and about the university and the college, and yeah, that is the main intention and aim towards this promotion.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to talk about commission and things, so that's not for
Yeah, no,
students.
that's fine. We can
Okay,
discuss it in a later stage
good.
in a separate discussion.
Hey
Excellent.
Ken,
Excellent.
sorry,
Yeah,
before we start, I need to relocate myself. So
go
I'll
ahead.
be
Yeah.
off camera and be back in a little bit.
Okay,
That's totally
that's
fine.
fine.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, so Nisha, Priya, and if I can see correctly, Puneet, nice to meet you all. And so I'm looking forward to working together. Let me start with, oh, we just lost our looks like we
Okay, just a
did.
second.
Yeah. Are
Okay.
you all located in Canada?
Yes, absolutely. We are all based in Calgary here.
Okay, in Calgary. Okay, great.
Okay, is the
All right.
screen okay now?
Yep,
Perfect.
it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Gabe. So the Graduate Gateway program, let me give you a little bit of background before I go into some of the details that are on this slide. So like I said, I started at AU in 2012. I was hired then to run our pathway program, and we did not have an English program. We did not have ELTA. We didn't have any of that. So we had just a pathway program, which fed our undergrad, our bachelor's degree, and our master's degree. I launched ELTA, the intensive English program, in 2015. So at that time, 2015, we had our IEP, the intensive English program. We had two pathway programs. And then, as things constantly are changing and shifting in the world, the university decided to partner with Shorelight Education. Vikash, I think you and I have talked about Shorelight,
Yes.
an aggregator, a third-party provider. And so they took over the pathway program in terms of admission, recruitment, working with agents, student services, just about everything except the academic aspect. So I maintained our academic. I'm the academic director handling the curriculum, the faculty all from us. And then we kept our intensive English program as well, which was separate. And then what happened last year is it was time for a renewal of the contract with Shorelight. And the university decided to keep the partnership at the bachelor's level, but separate at the graduate master's level. So that allowed us to restart the program I had run before, make a few little changes here and there, update it. And this is the evolution of what is now the Graduate Gateway program, which will launch next summer, or relaunch, I should say. So this program is only for master's level students, not PhD, not bachelor's. And the way it works for students to be admitted into this, they actually apply directly to the master's degree. So if they're aiming to have an MBA or a master's in economics, whatever the MA, MS degree is, they apply directly to that program. They submit all their information, fill out the entire application, and the proficiency needed to be directly admitted into AU it varies. There's a few variations among programs, but by and large, almost every master's degree level is a TOEFL 100, IELTS 7, Duolingo 120. So if they have those scores, as you guys well know, this is your expertise. If they have those scores, they're eligible, not guaranteed, but eligible to be admitted into their master's degree. So one option working with your students is they will get directly admitted and join a master's degree. If everything on the application looks good, but their English proficiency does not meet any of those three scores, there's the opportunity for them to be conditionally admitted into GGP. And so there is a minimum for that, of course. So we allow students to go in at 96.5 IELTS, Duolingo 110. I have a little asterisk next to the TOEFL 90 because I'm actually in process right now of trying to get that to be 85. I think 85 is a more appropriate score with the IELTS and Duolingo scores that we have. I have approval from most of the graduate schools. There's 7 graduate schools at American University, and they operate independently in terms of their admission process. So I'm just waiting for 2 more to approve. If that gets approved, I think it will. I'll update you guys. So hopefully we'll have a TOEFL of 85, which will give us a wider net to cast in terms of students eligible for the program. So again, though, you can't apply to the Gateway program. You apply to the master's degree, and then you'll either be directly admitted to the program and conditionally admitted to GGP or denied admission. For each student, the application process right now, we don't have a place to check off an agent-based student. So as I told Vikash in our one-on-one meeting earlier, I just need you to send me an email with the student's full name, country, program, English proficiency score. I'll record that, and once the student's results are in, I'll make sure that the commission goes to Chase. Yeah. So I'm going to send you, or Game is going to send you after this. She'll send you these slides so you can have it. There'll be the link to our Graduate Gateway program webpage, and that has links to each graduate school. One thing you have to do for your students and for you have to look at each program. So if the student is applying for an MS in biology or an MA in psychology, you have to look at that program's requirements. Every program has a variation of what they require for admissions. They're pretty similar, but you have to follow each one. So I wish I could give you all, here's what you need to apply to a master's degree, but it depends on the program. So make sure you look at each school and what is required. And I think I'm going to stop for a moment there in case there's questions on the admission process.
Yeah, so I believe the admission process is very smooth. You have already highlighted the English requirement, what is there, right? How the GGP program is the basically ideal option for students seeking MA and MS degrees. In terms of the program itself, so will it be all the online, in person? And how the fee is going to be a one-time transfer, or they can split in multiple stages. What sort of students' background, or how diverse is the students section will going to be in this program. So just wanted to get an idea so that our students and their parents can be more confident in enrolling for such a program.
Yeah, it's a good question, a wide-ranging question, because in terms of the student body, again, we're relaunching the program right now. So we haven't run the programs. I haven't run it since 2016. However, from 2013 to 2016, and then we did run it through the Shoreline Partnership. The graduate level program, very diverse, students from all over the world. I think the last the last iteration that I ran, we had, I think, 15 students, a small program when I was running it before we partnered with Shorelight. In the pathway, we had 15 students, probably 8 countries. And part of the diversity is these students are all they're all coming together in the Gateway program, but they're going to different programs after that. So we're going to have people going to law school. We're going to have people going to business school. We're going to have people going to School of International Service, SPA, 7 different graduate schools, School of Education, TESOL. So yeah, there's a wide range of backgrounds, diversity. And the program, I'm going to get into this more. Right here, you can see the bottom here. It's a 10-week program. So really, this program, it's just a small piece of their experience. It's 10 weeks in the summer. I'm going to get into more details on the program. But what their diversity in the student body they're going to look at is when they join their master's degree after. And of course, that's going to be, local students from the United States, domestically, international, very diverse. AU has a diverse population. So they don't have to worry about diversity. That's going to be absolutely accomplished at both the summer level and then, of course, in their master's degree. So when they do come for the Graduate Gateway program, if they're admitted conditionally to that, they'll spend 10 weeks with us. Summer only. They start June 1st. Next year, it's June 1st to August 6th. Tuition is $10,000 for the summer program. We do have housing available for students in the summer program because summer is an open time for the university. In the fall, there is a possibility of housing, but it depends on, the enrollment of undergrad and all that. So there's a lot of variables, but there's plenty of off-campus housing nearby the university and easy to find. We have a web page for students to use for that.
Perfect. No, you have briefly explained most of the answers to my question. In terms of will there be any scholarship or any bursaries or subsidies? Will that be an option for these international or domestic students?
Yes, international. So students that come in internationally or domestically will have the option for financial aid or scholarship or support, depending on the student. Of course, it's often internationally, it's going to be merit-based. So if it's a strong student, there's a good chance. If they have a high GPA, there's a good chance they'll get some funding from the university. So that's possible. Yep.
Okay.
Kim, if you're still there, maybe you could go to the next slide. I don't know if she's here.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think Vikash,
Yes,
can you
please.
guys?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you asked about payment plan, payment option, and AU does offer payment plans for students. So they have an option to set like the tuition payment into like 5 months, 3 months, but it depends on how soon they can
So the
apply.
overall 10,000 can be split in multiple installments, basically.
Yeah.
Great.
But they will have to
I'm not so
apply.
sure, Game, about the 10,000 though.
Oh, okay.
I don't
That's
maybe, but
fine. That's
yeah.
fine. You can send me a brief email, whatever the terms are. That's totally fine. So if there is an option that they'll be more flexible towards the applicants. If there is no, then of course this is something which is affordable to the applicants, regardless of the options that they are enrolling in.
There is
Okay.
definitely the payment plan, as Gabe said, for the master's degree option. I'm just not sure. It's a good question that actually I haven't talked about that yet, Gabe. It's a good thing for us to follow up on because it's such a short program, June
Yes.
and July. I don't know if there's a payment plan for that such a brief
Right.
program, but
Okay.
we'll follow up on that. It's a good
No,
question.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, next slide.
Yes, please. Okay, so just a few more pieces of information, then I'll take more questions. So curriculum, it's a pretty intense curriculum for these students. So they're going to take 3 graduate level courses. The 3 at the bottom, critical reading skills, communication, and academic writing. It's going to really prepare them to be ready to hit the ground running when they start in the fall semester. They also take a professional development course. I actually teach that course. That's a once a week class. That's more of an advisory class. But the other 3 classes are rigorous academic courses. We found the students that actually go in our pathway program, whether it's this one or the other ones, they're often better prepared than the students that directly come in with, say, 105 or 110 TOEFL, because they've got the experience of being on campus, taking classes, experienced U.S. education, getting comfortable in their location. So the success rate of the students has been really high. In fact, the first 4 years we ran the program, we had 100% success rate. And when I say success rate, I mean progression from GGP to full matriculation. So they don't need to take another test. There's no more TOEFL or IELTS or anything like that. All they need to do is just perform in their classes. So if they get a grade of B or better in all three classes, they'll be fully admitted, start their program soon after our program. So we end on August 6th. 2 or 3 weeks later, they'll be in orientation for their master's degree.
Right.
And so that's the progression. And then commission for you all, 20% commission on our $10,000 GGP term. Also, no scholarship for GGP. That's a flat rate of 10,000. And then if they do the GGP, it'll be a 20% commission for the agent, and then another 20% commission in the first semester of their master's degree, minus the scholarship. So generally speaking, depends on the programs, but generally speaking, tuition is about $20,000 per semester for an MA degree. And so it'll be 20% of the 20,000 on top of the 20% for the 10,000. If they get a scholarship, it would be 20% of the rate minus the scholarship.
Right. No, that's good to know. So
So
in terms
that's
of the
everything on my end.
so in terms of the sorry to cut you off here, Ken.
That's
So I
okay.
was just about to ask, in terms of the pathway programs itself with the university, this ELTA, how it's going to basically play a role apart from, yes, the curriculum you have highlighted, they will be learning the skills. Will there be any other additional support which they will be getting in order to finalize a particular program, or alongside their master's degree or MS, whatever they'll be doing?
So you mean for when they're in the pathway program, when they're in GGP?
Yes.
Yeah. So when they're in the summer pathway program, it's totally run by ELTA. We're part of American University. Gabe will be the student advisor. I'll be directing the program. Our faculty come from ELTA, they're all AU faculty, all AU professors. So during that semester, they're housed basically in our ELTA program. However, while they're here in the summer, they're of course start meeting with their advisor in their master's program. They can set up an appointment to meet with them. It's summertime, so maybe there might be a Zoom appointment, something like that. I'll be, of course, in direct touch with all the master's programs. All the MA programs are going to know the students in the GGP, and they'll be reaching out to them and getting them, situated. So we're running it, but it'll be in connection with their master's program.
So, and also, Ken, I would want you to highlight in terms of the since for our international students and applicant and for their parents, so how affordable itself is accommodation is in the Washington D.C. as a location itself. What sort of monthly cost of living, and in terms of the expense, in terms of overall environment of studying there. So, what are the pros and cons one can experience there?
All right. So the expense for when they come in the summer, the pathway program at a $10,000 price is a very reasonably priced program. We intentionally set it very reasonably because we want the students to join us in the master's program. So the summer program tuition is quite reasonable. The cost of living, if they live on campus, it's quite reasonable considering DC. So accommodations on campus are affordable. DC rent is not cheap. That's, to be honest, DC, New York, San Francisco, Seattle, those are the more expensive cities. Boston in the country. So yeah, if I would be lying to say if it's very affordable. Yeah, we're not Nebraska or Mississippi, that's for sure.
No, it all depends upon the area of interest. If someone is really looking forward for a very modern and high-tech city, so definitely that is their preference and choice, and eventually they'll get the advantage or disadvantage. Both will run alongside. That's totally
100%.
understandable.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, go ahead.
So I was about to ask in terms of the admission process. I know you have highlighted they will be enrolling in this program 20 hours per week for the programs. So overall, as an international student and on a very layman basis, when they apply for their visa at the consulate, so will they be including this program, or will that be mentioned in their I-20 or offer letter that they'll be conducting this program? So that increases the duration of the overall program.
Yes, so Gabe and I are working on this right now with our international office. What we're hoping to have, we haven't finalized it yet, but we're hoping to have one I-20 for students in the pathway program. The other option is to have where they would have an I-20 for the pathway and then a change of level once they fulfill the pathway program. But we think for visa purposes, for ease of getting a visa, it will be much better if we have one I-20. So that's our goal. We're going to keep you up to date on that when we
Right.
confirm it. But that's the goal, to have one I-20. It will definitely mention that they're in this graduate gateway program leading to their master's degree.
Okay, one more thing quickly came to my mind. Like, in terms of the, I know this is a question not to be asked or at this stage, but in general opinion, how, in terms of officer perspective, will that be considered as a positive approach, or will that be considered as something that the client, the individual is not ready for such a program? So how you take up this challenge in terms of the applicant's concern that he is enrolling for a GGP program, or he should not enroll for such a program?
Well, I mean, they don't really have a choice. If they want to join American University and they have a 92 TOEFL, they
Right,
don't have a choice. That
right,
this is
right, right.
it's not like they can say, "Oh, I don't want to do GGP." No, you have to do GGP. So
Yes.
there's no choice if they want to join American University with this subs with the score that is below the requirement. I don't think it's going to be a problem visa-wise, because AU itself, being a top-level school, being in DC,
Right,
having great recognition. We've had very few visa rejections. I know it's been a big issue across other universities in the US. We've
right.
had very few. So, and that includes students that are in our current pathway program, which we have both at bachelor's and the master's program that was running previously. So we haven't had many issues there. They're going to see the embassies and the visa folks are going to see, look, this is a 10-week program. They're coming in with a high TOEFL, not quite high enough. And they're admitted to, American University as long as they complete this program. So I'm confident that the visa is not going to be an issue, as long as the students are prepared for the interview and know exactly what's going on.
Perfect. And eventually, after completing this program, and if just in case, if one of the student says that I would like to enroll for a different university or a different program altogether, so will they be considered that they have completed such a program? Will there be a certification or kind of acknowledgement will be by the ELTA?
So let me do you let me make sure I understand that. I mean, if they join GGP and then decide to go
Yes.
elsewhere,
Yeah.
well, I mean that they could do that. That would mean they would just drop out of the program, out of
Right.
AU.
Right.
But the Graduate Gateway program does not fulfill any requirements
Okay.
except for American University.
Right. No,
And
that's
we,
once in a hundred instance,
yeah, yeah,
basically that
yeah.
can happen. And so in terms of the program and the university pathways, so in the overall financial preparedness of an applicant, I know 10,000 for this program, and the average cost of living and average tuition fees. How
Gabe, can
much
you
they
mute?
Yes,
how
sorry.
no, that's totally fine. So I was about to ask how much financially they need to be sound enough. Eventually, if their aim is to study in American University through the Great Graduate Gateway program, what is their ideal financial situation has to be?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Game, can you put up the CAS financial requirements for a visa? We did with it when we met with this morning with Ankrita in India. She had the same question, and we were able to put up. We have a list of what a student needs to show in
Right,
order to get a visa to get
right.
and an I-20 to get the I-20 actually.
Or
I
if
know.
they're looking for some financial support from a financial institution or for education loan or grant.
Yeah, so this is what Game is pulling up right now is our College of Arts and Sciences requirement. So when they this is for any international students directly admitted to the program, this is what they need to show American University that they can afford 2 semesters. And so
Okay,
that would be 70,796.
right.
And you can see this is 18 the room and board are just estimates of what they think it would cost. And we can share this with you after as
Yes,
well.
please.
Game
Yes.
can send you this link. So yeah, they need to really show about $80,000 And then if they're in GGP, they'd have to show the additional GGP time as well. So
Approximately
looking at
90,000 has to be the affordability. In terms of the financial metrics, they need to be ready to prepare such a document which can justify that their intention is genuine towards studying in American university. So no,
exactly.
that's good to know about such an opportunity. So in terms of scholarships, grants, I know this is something eventually as it depends upon their scores and their previous academic background. But how much the university and ELTA is supporting the applicants to apply for scholarship, and what sort of options are there?
Yeah, so ELTA doesn't do, there's no support from ELTA for the
Okay.
GGP program, right?
Right.
That's the set price.
Right.
The price is so low. As far
Yes.
as a master's in each department will have funding. My understanding, just a little, because I don't handle that aspect, it's
Right.
handled through
Right.
the graduate admissions, but about 30 to 35% of
Okay.
applicants receive some form of scholarship. I don't know how much a percentage goes to international,
Okay.
but you know, it'll vary student to student. It could be a few $1,000s, it could be 10,000, it could be nothing. It'll be a range. But the good thing is that, I mean, originally when I was setting up the program and working with our departments, there was some talk that if a student comes via an agent, we weren't necessarily considering scholarship. But I'm happy to say that the university has decided, yeah, no matter if the student comes from an agent or not agent, they are eligible for scholarship.
Right. No, no, thanks for that clarification.
Sure.
One other thing which always comes to my mind, I know American University has a very kind of a robust program with this ELTA, where the students can learn and gain more information and knowledge about the specific program. We haven't noticed such a program in other university and colleges in US as such. So, what sort of the testimony or what sort of acknowledgement or experience you have received from those students or from the alumni, that how ELTA has helped them achieving their goal and target at the end of the day?
Yeah, so we have we're going to send you after the meeting, we'll send you, or you can look on our webpage as well, but
Right.
we'll send it to you. We have a testimonial page
Great.
with about 50, I think there's about 15 of our students there.
Okay.
So yeah, we've been, you know, it's been a really, really successful program. We're in year 10 of our ELTA program, year 13 of our pathway, various pathway programs. We had the honor of having a Nobel Prize winner join us. So we had the Peace Prize winner from 2018, I believe 2018 or 2019, Nadia Murad. She won the Nobel Prize, and she went through our program in ELTA for 4 semesters, which prepared her to get her bachelor's degree at the university. So yeah, lots of success, and I hope you guys take the time and share that with your students who are interested to take a look at the ELTA program. I think those testimonials will really convince students that ELTA is a good program for them.
No,
I will
definitely
say this,
that is the
Vikash.
approach. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
that is
say
the
this,
approach. Yeah.
Vikash, that the one thing, if we have any complaints about our program, is that
Yeah.
we make the students work pretty hard. So
Right. Right.
so
Right. Right.
yeah, so we're very academic, and students that go through it, they do have a lot of work, but they're really thankful after the program because it leads to future success.
Right. No, that's good. In terms of their overall involvement and time is required. So, how much you think, how much efforts and in their day-to-day routine life, how much time they will need to devote in such a program? I know you have mentioned the duration of the program,
Yeah.
but so will there have to be a kind of 8 hours, 7 hours involvement, or will there be some specific hours they have to devote?
Well, they'll be in class 20 hours a week. So the way the classes work, they'll be in class on say Monday and Wednesday. They'll have 2 classes that meet for 3 hours. So that's 6 hours those 2 days. And then Tuesday, Thursday, they'll have one class for 3 hours. So that's another 6 hours. So it'll be 2 days a full day, 2 days a half day, and then they'll have Fridays off. So it'll be Monday, Thursday during the GGP program. So
Right.
that's a lot of class time. They're in class 20 hours a week. So they won't, whereas when they're in their master's degree, they're going to be in class a lot less, but of course have a lot more work outside the class. But I would estimate in that 10-week program, you know, I would say almost a 1-to-1 ratio. So if they're in class 20 hours a week, they're going to do about 20 hours of work outside of class.
Right. Right.
On
Right.
average, 10 to 20 hours, depending on the class and the time. So yeah, they'll be busy. but they'll make a lot of progress in 10 weeks.
And also you have mentioned, Ken, it is not an option, rather it's an eligibility criteria, that it's a mandatory requirement to enroll in American university. They have to undergo such a program. We can totally understand the domestic students, they can definitely enroll regardless of their future intake of the master's program. But how about the interested students, if they are coming for a spring, fall, or such an intake, and they have enrolled in this program, or maybe their admission gets deferred. So eventually this program basically will accommodate itself as per the deferment of their master's degree. Or they have to come, get the visa, start this program first, then they will be going to the university itself.
Yeah,
So
there's
just
no
want to
flexibility.
understand better, basically, for interested students, if there is any deferment required, will automatically the program defer itself, the ELTA program?
No, that's a good question. So just to be clear too, no domestic students are in the
Okay,
program
just an
unless
interested students. No,
it's
thanks for
yeah,
clarifying
it's
that. Right.
unless they're a domestic student that's international living here and needs to show a TOEFL. So this
Right.
because it's an academic English language program, it's for non-native speakers only. So
Right.
not
Right.
I shouldn't even say just international because it's not going to include obviously Australia,
Right.
England, and this and that. So it's non-native students that are international in the program, and also there's no the program only runs in the summer.
Right.
So they have to be admitted. These are students that will be admitted into the fall semester that would
Right.
take this in the summer. Your students can apply for spring semester. So we,
Right.
we only have two intakes for graduate to masters, right? It's going
Okay.
to be either
Right.
fall or spring. And so if they apply for fall, they have the option, if they're not qualified for in their proficiency, that they can do summer GGP. If they apply in the spring, there's no pathway. So they
Right.
have to be directly admitted. Now, what can happen in the spring, Vikash, is that if they apply in the spring, semester starts in January here in the spring, and they have a 92 TOEFL, they can say, well, you've been conditionally admitted. We're going to push you to the fall semester with GGP in the summer. And then
Right.
that the student has to make a decision if they want to wait to start in the fall.
Right. No, you have greatly answered that question. So you have clarified now, basically based upon the intakes of the university. So only this program runs summer to summer, basically. So accordingly, they have to basically prepare and ready for the enrollment for such a program. Unless they achieve the desired score of 92 plus and the TOEFL, then they're exempt automatically from enrolling the program. No, I think pretty much you have briefed out us in detail. And is there anything which you want to highlight more to our viewers and to our team?
Yeah, one other thing I want to highlight is just the other program that we run, our intensive English program. I know you and I talked about that. I think you have a lot of students from India. I know
Right.
that this is not going to be for them, but I think you're expanding into beyond
Yes.
India,
Right,
maybe
right,
Southeast
right.
Asia,
Middle
perhaps,
East,
right?
Southeast Asia, Pacific region, New Zealand, and other countries. Yes, so the Fiji and all those countries, Nepal in Southeast Asia. So those are the countries. Those are our target applicants, basically. So and we do get a lot of queries from those applicants at the same time as well, especially to our Indian office. So that's what the intention is, to highlight such a program and promote this program. Those who are looking for to enroll in American university. So I think this is going to be a great achievement for them if they accomplish this program.
Yeah, I think that's going to be our main area of opportunity and partnership. But the other program I'm going to put up, that Game put up for us, Game is definitely following along. I know she has some things going on in her house, so she's juggling
Right,
things.
right. No,
So I'm
that's
gonna,
really fine.
yeah,
One
yeah.
last thing, Ken, I'll mention here. The part-time job, or basically what we call it as the eligibility. I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Are they eligible to have the option to work in campus or during the program enrollment during this
So
program as
yeah,
well?
two things I want to share with you. One is to answer your question. So F1 students are allowed up to 20 hours a week on
Yes.
campus. On camp, you know that. So during the GGP program, I would highly, I don't think there's going to be any opportunity during summer for work on campus. There's just not much going on, and they're
Right.
going to be way too busy. So no, but yes, at the grad level, when they're in their master's degree, they can find it on campus. If they can find an on-campus job, they are eligible, but that's it. They're restricted to campus work only.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no restriction apart if they are managed to find something within campus, if the opportunity is there, if they're eligible. Other than that, you highly recommend that they should focus on this program first. Eventually, once they enroll for their master's program, then yes, they have full freedom to basically to devote their 20 hours as an F1 student.
That's my understanding of that any F1 student can work up to 20 hours on campus.
Perfect, perfect. No,
And
thanks for
so the one
clarifying
other,
that again.
well, you're welcome. One other thing I want to clarify and explain briefly is if you have students that, this is a totally different program. This is our intensive English program.
Right.
This is for any level, grad, undergrad, anybody that has a high school degree. If they are interested, if you have students interested and just want to come for an English language experience to improve their English,
Okay.
they would apply. In this case, they apply directly to ELTA. GAME
Okay.
manages the admission process. They need a high school degree, and then we have a range of TOEFL 50 to 70, IELTS 4 to 5.5, Duolingo 60 to 90. If they're in that range, they would fit our program. We don't take beginners, and then we also don't take highly advanced students.
Right.
So those students, we have that range of eligible. The tuition dates and housing information is there for you. It's 15 weeks in the fall and spring, 10 weeks in the summer. Pricing is there. Again, housing in the summer only. And they're in class 18 to 20 hours a week studying academic English, non-pathway, just pure English language experience.
So what should be our target applicants for such a program? Those who are already there, enrolled in some other programs, or of international students or domestic?
Yeah, these would be international students that I'm the countries you mentioned,
Right.
Thailand, Vietnam, those
Yes.
types of
Yes.
countries. If a
Right.
student, I mean, the students we get, a lot of students we get are a little bit older, so
Right.
they're mid-career, they want to come in and improve their
Right.
English and have an experience in the United States. And then they're also mixed in. We do have our bachelor's degree students in a separate pathway that
Okay.
also take this program. So yeah, it's there. It's not a big program because most of the students we deal with want the pathway to a degree, and this does not offer that. But it's a smaller program that's available if you have students interested.
Definitely, it seems to be a good opportunity. Whosoever looking forward to improvise and sitting in an intermediate level, basically
Yeah,
looking forward to
exactly.
achieve the advanced stage. So this, I think, the program duration is also good, and the fees is also affordable. Within 15 weeks, he can able to achieve that such a target.
Yeah,
No,
you hit the nail on the head because so it's an intermediate student. We have some students that want to join our master's degree or think about GGP, but they've got a 65 TOEFL, 75 TOEFL. So at that point, we recommend, you really, sure, you can improve your English at home, online, doing different software, but you're not going to improve as much as in country. And
right.
also, you're not going to have the academic preparation. So we tell students, look, you're not qualified yet for our master's level stuff. So you come and join us and prove your English, and then maybe you can apply.
Right, perfect. So in a nutshell, basically we can say if someone is looking forward to advance their English language and looking forward to enroll, or maybe for any reason they want to improvise on their English language, ELTA is the best opportunity for them based in Washington with a very proximity of good housing affordability at the same time, right? Good opportunities, and eventually
Yeah.
it will lead them to basically enroll in American University, which is one of the prestigious university in Washington.
Oh,
So it seems to be a good option for all our applicants, and we are looking forward to promote such a program, and we will come up with more questions and answer as we'll receive from of the applicants or the peers or from their parents. We can definitely have one more session. So before I summarize, I should say thank you so much everyone basically for joining us today, and big thank you to Ken and Game here and our team Elta for sharing valuable information to us. I would like to learn more. Please, if anyone, our viewers would like to learn, please approach us through Chase Global Academy page, and we will be happy to answer and conduct more such a sessions. Thank you, Ken, and thank you, Game. And yeah, we'll chat more on our emails in the coming future.
sounds great. Thank you, Vikash. Thank you, everybody. Nice meeting you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.